Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is LaluJeffreyAlimWahtum. Today, I want to present about students' attention toward entrepreneurship. So, firstly, what do you know about entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is someone who can convert or move economic resource from a low level of productivity to a higher level of productivity. So the reason why students want to become entrepreneur, firstly, is about financial independence. So secondly is do not depend on others. So in the previous studies based on Juara and Hauke, investigate the impact of higher education toward students' attention to be entrepreneurship. Following a survey method, the study found there was a significant relationship between social factors and entrepreneurship attention. And in Italian context, Israr and Salim investigate to explore university student perception towards entrepreneurship and their attention for becoming entrepreneurs by looking at the discouraging factors which pose some difficulties in doing so. So in terms of coverage of study, attention has not been given to researching student intention of doing entrepreneurship. In particular, a study which involves students who study in non-economic major with small number of entrepreneurship education exposure. So from this study is gonna talk about what are the student profile related to entrepreneurship experience. And secondly is what are factors which contribute to the students' attention toward entrepreneurship. So in the theoretical framework, the definition of entrepreneurship according to NOHA, entrepreneurship is the practice of starting new organization or revitalizing mature organization, particularly new business generally in response to identify opportunities. So the personality factors of successful entrepreneurs is the most important personality factor contributing to the success of any entrepreneur include emotional stability, good interpersonal relation, consideration, and thankfulness. An entrepreneur has to maintain good relation with his customer so as to encourage them to continue to patronize his business. He must also maintain good relation with his employees so as to motivate them to perform their jobs with a high level of efficiency. And an entrepreneur is also demanded to have a good consideration in dealing with any problem with his business so that every decision is taken carefully. So the definition of intention to be entrepreneurship is the dynamic process of creating and ceremonial wealth. The wealth is created by individuals who assume the major risks in terms of equity, time, and or career commitment or provide value for some product or service. So the factor which contributes to the intention to be entrepreneurs is innovation and creativity. So according to Sumter, the key ingredient of entrepreneurship is innovation of the individual. So innovation implies doing new things or doing the same thing in the new manner. So, based on the result of Jero Adolfo Torres Velasquez, this study found the result that students want to get training in entrepreneurship because they believe with this training, students can improve their expertise in entrepreneurship. So according to Juara and Hakyu, management is the faculty that most encourage their students to become entrepreneurs. And the result of the respondents indicate that they feel ready to become business owners. Management science students today feel ready to become entrepreneurs. But it's clear that some faculties have more influence than others. But it's clear that some faculties have more influence than others because these results indicate the existence of different opinions between faculties. So in the research methods, this study used a questionnaire survey to know more about intention students toward entrepreneurship. The questionnaire was primarily adapted by Juara and Hakyu. In their questionnaire, 9 items were used to investigate the student entrepreneur intention. However, the researcher of this previous study added one more item so that there were 10 statements that should be answered by student. Also, the option of the item was changed into strongly agree, disagree, and strongly disagree. To get participants, the sister sent this online questionnaire through different chatting groups in social media such as Line and WhatsApp. After the results were generated by the system, this data will be analyzed via Google Form. So this study has been carried out by being filled out by students from the Muhammadiyah University of Yogyakarta. Using Google Forms, they are distributed from group to group. Further, the data were then elaborated into two aspects. The first aspect is talk about personal data. The personal data include gender, age, department, and faculty. The second aspect is a statement refers to perception from student toward entrepreneurship. So in this research, there were 44 participants in which only 10 students had taken entrepreneurship course and 39 students chose to become entrepreneurs. 66.7% of participants told that entrepreneurship was their achievement because entrepreneurship was a job that could get financial independence, and students who achieved it were 91.9%. Entrepreneurship is a risky job and someone can fall out of it, but 89.7% of students will start, and 51.1% agree that entrepreneurship can bring money and raise social status. Around 85% of students want to start entrepreneurs because of the high unemployment and can make job creation. Culture can promote entrepreneurship and also social networks, but 80% of participants agree, but 75% of participants are not agree with government finance can help promote business ownership. 66.7% of students agree that entrepreneurship courses can increase student interest in becoming entrepreneurs. This study shows that students of WEMI have a sense of interest in becoming entrepreneur. However, the most students have not achieved or did a course that focus on entrepreneurship. The researcher found that many students choose entrepreneurship to become their achievement. Entrepreneurs themselves are jobs that require independence. Independence that require no fear of failure and not afraid that it's too risky, and many students agree on it. Students also agree that opening an employment opportunities naturally makes an entrepreneur increase income and increases social status. The absence of financial assistance from the government to support business people, but with the support of job creation and culture, students want to become entrepreneurs. And there are courses that contain entrepreneurs to make their interest increase. So this study support what has been done previously, Dwara and Hodge, who report similar results to this study. Firstly, in terms of personality factors of the result of the study confirmed their research by finding that starting a business is to reach achievement. Independence is main reason for starting business and eagerness to fail. Secondly, regarding motivational factors, the present study is in the same vein with the result of the previous study, mentioning that money and high status can stimulate entrepreneurship. Job creation, unemployment, and lack of appropriate job opportunities stimulate someone to be entrepreneurship. The last aspect is contextual related factors in terms of culture. It will promote becoming entrepreneur. Also, social network can influence someone to become entrepreneurs with the help government finance. It can also ease business ownership. Entrepreneurship is also taught in university course, helping the desire to become entrepreneur. So in the conclusion, this study shows that student perception toward entrepreneurs. The majority of the student wants to become entrepreneur. From the analysis, many students agree to accept the risks becoming an entrepreneur and were not afraid to start. Most students wanted to become independent and open employment with job creation. And support from the culture and social network which increase their interest to become entrepreneur. This study also that many students have achieved courses related to entrepreneurs. So that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.